Good. Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let me say up front, my speech may not be as fun as persuading you to like chocolate or to dance, but it covers a pretty important issue that's facing our generation, facing our country right now, and that is the struggles of the print media. Before I get into that, I'm going to do a quick poll of the audience. Who goes to Google for information? And that's pretty much everyone. Can you name a source that you trust? Just any example.
Any journal.
A journal, okay. And that's different than, say, a blog. Blogs are not as trustworthy, okay. The media and print media industry is responsible for the quality of, they pioneered the quality information and reporting that we have come to trust on the internet. And if they fail because of their poor business decision 10 years ago to put that information for free, we'll have to turn to blogs, and the quality of the circulating information will take a dramatic hit. I'm actually a journalism major. My name is REMCOMM, and I'm the son of two journalists, and so I'm very familiar with all these ideas and arguments. And today I'm going to be proposing that Google should help subsidize the print media through paying royalties for linking to print companies. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to talk about the economic dues and incentives, historical precedent, and altruistic appeals. So in other words, that they owe the companies, that it'll help Google themselves, it's been done before, and it'll help society. Okay. Before I do that, though, I want to talk about why this is important at all. I talked to David Fenton, who's the CEO of Fenton Communications, a PR firm, and he said pretty bluntly, like, our democracy is at stake. Since the inception of our country, print has really been a fourth branch of the government. It's been responsible for the dissemination of accurate information, and with accurate information comes a better democracy. You need an informed citizenry to have responsible voting. If we turn to bloggers and other people with agenda for information, that's not a reliable basis for democracy. A few of you may be wondering, why does Google need to step up to the plate then? Why am I looking at Google? Okay. Well, first of all, why do you go to Google? You go to Google not just because they're going to yield you relevant search results, but because at least some of the results they give you are going to be trustworthy, something you can believe in. For example, if they index only blogs, you would, at best, everything they printed would be suspicious. So in that sense, the print industry gives some credence to Google and draws at least a portion of their audience. It's also important to understand how Google makes some money. According to their posted tables online, their financial information, out of nearly $24 billion last year that they made, 96.8% of it was from ads. So basically, going to Google, searching, and clicking on any ad that comes up there is where they get their money. So if we're arguing that print media draws a good portion of people to go to Google, there is a direct link present between the revenue Google earns and the print industries, and therefore a lot of people think that they owe royalties for this. These complaints have been vocalized within the past year. According to a New York Times article published last year on April 6th, the Associated Press asserted that they had become a source of revenue for Google because Google can sell ads on pages that turn up articles. Rupert Murdoch, who owns News Corp, said in a speech that was posted in the Wall Street Journal that they think they have the right to take our news content and use it for their own purposes without contributing a penny to its production. I understand Rupert Murdoch has a mixed reputation, but this is a very legitimate point. Now, whether or not you agree that Google has a legal obligation to do this, it's pretty much without debate in their best interest as a business, as a money-making corporation. As I said before, their money comes from people visiting their website. So posting purely unreliable sources will result in fewer visitors, and that will result in less money for them. According to Fenton, it would cost Google just tens of millions of dollars out of the billions they make in order to truly save the print industry. And for those of you who are good at math, you know that's like 1%. basically what they have to consider is that in the short run, failing to do this would save them that tens of millions of dollars, but cost them a lot of money, a lot more money in the long run. So they have to avoid killing the golden goose. Okay, now that we looked at economics, I'm going to go on to the historical precedent for this. Take a library, for example. Libraries have been around for a long time. The public library you go into, they provide a means of accessing resources, books. Do they pay for the books that are on their shelves? Yes, they do. Furthermore, you look at this analogy, you can see that libraries are public services. They don't make a profit. And this is another reason that Google, who doesn't pay anything for their links and makes money off of it, should be paying. Because in the fair use laws, which they cite as justifying what they do, the intent of your usage is a very, very important part of whether or not it's okay. And the fact that they're so financially preoccupied is a reason they should be paying. In addition, wire services and syndicates like Associated Press, they
6 minutes.
Okay, they have paper. Their stories will appear in papers all over the country, but these stories are paid for by the newspapers that print them. Okay. Finally, if you don't agree with any of these things, the economics or the historical precedent, I hope you can at least appreciate that Google should do this for the public good. As I said, they can afford it, and while it'll enhance their reputation, it will ensure the survival of the print industry, which, as I have said, allowed for a viable democracy in our country for more than 200 years. So in conclusion, the print industry is something that is crucial to our way of life. And if Google, who owes the print industry for some of the revenue, can afford to subsidize them, continues from their benefits from their continuation, their survival, if they chose to help subsidize, whether or not it was through legal action, a major crisis in our country would be averted. And that's it. This is my information. Thank you for listening. And those are my sources. Thank you.